Hi everybody and welcome to our mini webinar spotlighting your trustees stories that inspire as part of our Giving Tuesday 2025 campaign. My name is Jennifer Brennan and I am supporting Charities Institute Ireland in the rollout of the Giving Tuesday campaign. In the next 15 minutes we'll explore why storytelling matters, how to source and shape trustee stories and practical ways to share them. Our goal is to help you celebrate trustees and encourage others to consider joining boards. As a reminder, this year's Giving Tuesday campaign focuses on the theme of celebrating volunteer boards of trustees. It offers a unique opportunity to spotlight the leadership, generosity, and impact of volunteer boards across Ireland. The campaign has two key strands. The first is celebration and thanks, so encouraging charities to publicly thank their boards of trustees for the time, guidance and expertise they give. And second, inspiration and recruitment, highlighting that becoming a trustee and serving on a charity board is a powerful way to give back and use your skills, encouraging more people to consider volunteering at this leadership level. First, we look at why storytelling matters. Storytelling is powerful because it creates an emotional connection. Facts and figures tell what you do, but stories show why it matters. They bring governance to life by highlighting the human side of leadership. Storytelling drives so much, including higher conversion rates, better recall, better loyalty, and better donor retention. Storytelling alone is said to increase conversions by 30%, whereas video storytelling can drive 80% more conversions. Here are a few more reasons why storytelling matters. Authenticity builds trust. People connect with real voices and genuine experiences. When trustees share their own journeys, the challenges and the rewards, it feels more relatable and inspires confidence. Stories drive action. When someone sees a trustee who looks like them or shares similar values, they think, "Oh, I could do that too." That sense of possibility is what motivates people to step forward. Engagement speaks volumes. Posts featuring personal stories often achieve up to 3 times more engagement than generic updates. Why? Well, because stories spark emotion and emotion drives interaction. Beyond awareness and moving to impact. Storytelling doesn't just inform, it influences behaviour. It can attract new trustees, strengthen community support, and reinforce your organisation's credibility. Next, we look at how to source and shape trustee stories. Start by sourcing stories, maybe interviews with simple, open questions like, why did you become a trustee, or what impact has your role had? Gather quotes from annual reports or maybe board reflections. Make sure to highlight motivation, impact and advice for future trustees. Use inclusive language and avoid jargon. It's best to record short video clips. Zoom or a smartphone will work perfectly. Next, start to shape the story. Make sure to keep it concise and simple. In terms of a blog, you have the option to create maybe a short form blog, so that's anything from 300 to 600 words, a standard blog, anything from 600 to 1200 words, or a long form blog, anything from 1200 words plus. For videos, keep them short, ideally 30 to 60 seconds. Keep in mind, if you are sharing the videos as reels, the max length you can share on certain platforms is 60 seconds. There are lots of additional tips and questions to guide you in gathering the stories, all of which are available on the resources section of the Giving Tuesday website. Now we'll take a look at formats that work. Once you have the story, it's down to choosing the right format that works for you and your organisation. For example, for social media posts, maybe pair a strong quote with a photo or short story. Always remember that people relate and react best to people, so don't underestimate the power of including a photo or video clip of your chosen trustee. With reels, make sure they are dynamic and keep them to 30 to 60 second clips with captions for accessibility. Remember to include captions with all reel or video content. 85% of social media users consume video content without sound, whereas 92% of mobile users view videos with the sound off. For blog features, well, we touched on the length of blogs earlier. Longer form stories are best for your website, or you can add them as posts or documents on LinkedIn. Consider email spotlights and include a trustee story in your monthly newsletter. Also think about how you can reuse and repurpose any blog content you created. Another idea includes infographics. For example, you could summarise the key points from a trustee story visually, or in fact zone in on a particular theme, let's say what inspired your trustees to get involved, and represent that in an infographic. Other formats that work well include carousel posts, stories on Instagram and Facebook, podcasts or audio snippets, and quote graphics. Next, we look at tips for inclusive representation. As I'm sure you all know too well, representation matters and isn't just a box to tick. It's about telling stories that reflect the richness of your community. Show diversity in terms of age, background, lived experience, and many other facets. You'll know most of these tips already, but it's worth revisiting. Show real diversity. Feature trustees of different ages, cultural backgrounds, abilities, and lived experiences. Authentic representation builds trust and connection. Avoid tokenism. Inclusion should feel genuine. Share stories that highlight real contributions, not staged appearances. Choose inclusive imagery. Use photos and videos that show real people actively engaged and respected. Avoid stereotypes or visuals that reinforce bias. Make sure to mind your language. Keep captions and copy neutral, respectful, and free from jargon. Words matter as much as images. And when you are using text, make sure that the text is reader friendly. Prioritise accessibility. Add captions to videos, provide alt text for images, and ensure colour contrast meets accessibility standards so everyone can engage. Give people agency. Ask your trustees how they'd like to be represented. Let them choose quotes, photos, and the aspects of their story they want to share. And then celebrate intersectionality. Recognise that identities overlap, whether that's age, ethnicity, disability, socio-economic background, etc., and these shape unique perspectives. In this last section, we look at examples of successful trustee storytelling. There are plenty of examples out there. You probably have lots yourselves, including ones from your own organisations or others that you've been inspired by. For example, a few we came across include a LinkedIn post from the charities regulator in relation to the recent Trustees Week, another LinkedIn post from the National Breast Cancer Research Group, again linked to Charity Trustees Week, and a nice visual from Pieta House, also shared across their social platforms, about volunteering and highlighting their trustees. Last year we picked up on a blog from the YMCA, which was celebrating Charity Trustee Week last year, and the blog covers meeting one of their trustees and gives a little insight into her role as a trustee. We also came across a reel from The Wheel celebrating trustees. Hopefully the information we've shared in this brief webinar will help you to spotlight your trustees. Remember, stories inspire action. Start small. One trustee story can make a big difference. Download our storytelling guide and start planning your next piece of content today. There are lots of additional resources also available on the Giving Tuesday website. And finally, don't forget to tag Giving Tuesday in your content. Thank you for joining us.